If you're an athlete or a coach who wants to get faster or says speed is important for sports, but you just don't know how to get faster or just don't know where to start with the speed training program, I'm here to share my stories and experiences from being a speed coach over the last 3 years for youth athletes all the way up to professionals. I'm here to share my 3 speed training foundations, so watch this video all the way through, and I'm going to give you practical, applied things that you can do starting tomorrow to help increase the effectiveness of your speed training workouts and decrease the wasted time to increase your speed gains. If this is content you enjoy and you get a lot of value out of, comment down below your biggest light bulb from this video, what you want to see next, and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all of my training content. First, let's create some context and operational definition for what I mean when I say speed training. This is what my colleagues and I have come up with. The training of sprint mechanics, which includes shapes, patterns, and rhythms, and maximizing force vectors across starting positions, acceleration, and transitioning to max velocity sprinting that leads to significant and measurable improvements in speed. So, all the components of sprint mechanics, shapes, patterns, rhythms, that maximize force vectors. So that sounds fancier than it is, but it just means, are we applying our force and our energy in the best direction possible and at the best magnitude or the most amount possible, and across all types of sprinting, starting, accelerating, transitioning, and max velocity. And of course, we have to do what we say we're doing, significant and measurable improvements in speed. Number 1, the most important foundation of any speed training program is you have to be sprinting at or above 95% of your best sprint time. And this has multiple benefits, but first is for the nervous system. So sprinting, the fastest thing that the human body can do. And we know from Charlie Francis, a legendary speed coach, as well as it's been adopted by other speed coaches like Derek Hansen and Vince Anderson, that if we want our body to get better at this all-explosive, all-out, fastest thing that the human body can do, it has to be 95% or better of our best. So what does this look like in real life? Well, if you have your best sprint time, let's say it's 1:00 seconds over 10 yards. 5% slower, 95% of your best, that is your range to shoot for. So you have from a 1:00 to 1:05 to be a high-intensity nervous system, high-quality training rep. So there are multiple ways that you can calculate this, but you have to be giving your nervous system that challenge, that stimulus to get faster. Speed training foundation number 2 is that you have to be intentional with your rest times and be truly recovered to do your speed work. So this coincides with foundation number 1 about being at 95% or better of our best. The enemy of speed work is going to be a medium, fast, not truly 95% intensity, because it's going to get you tired, it's going to accumulate some fatigue, but not be in that speed threshold we want. So the rule of thumb is 1 minute rest for every 10 yards hard that you sprint. 15-yard acceleration, minute and a half rest. Flying 10 yards is usually about 20 yards of all out, 2 minutes rest. So this is very simple. As soon as your athlete finishes their sprint, you finish your sprint, I hit start on my watch, and then whenever the time is up, that's when my athletes can go again. So it takes the guessing out of, is my body truly recovered to sprint? Or doing everything you can that it has nothing to do with actually sprinting to make sure that you have the highest quality training reps. Foundation number 3 of any speed training program, going back to the definition of speed training, significant and measurable improvements in speed. So you have to be timing your sprints. If you say you're getting faster, you have to know if you actually are or if you aren't. And timing your sprints has multiple benefits. First, just the feedback of going all out. Did you get better? Is it faster than the last one? Is what you're doing working? Is very motivating and engaging for athletes. One of the best things we ever did in the facility is put a TV at the end of the track that puts the athlete's sprint time on it literally as soon as they're done. That's been huge for engagement and getting more out of our athletes. But second, it lets us know if we're on the right track or not only for an entire training program, but also within the day itself, going back to 95% or better being our range for a high quality speed training rep. So whether it's timing lasers, whether it's using Dartfish on your phone, or whatever it may be, you have to have some objective, reliable, and valid way of measuring your speed progress, not only for the day itself, but also over time. Because if you say you're doing speed training, you have to know if you're getting faster or not. So there are my 3 speed training foundations. You have to be sprinting at 95% or better of your best for that high intensity nervous system stimulus. You have to be intentional / time your rest in between your sprints to take the guessing out of, is my body truly in a state to sprint? And last, you have to be measuring your sprints. If you're getting faster, are you actually doing that? So all of those things go together. The timing helps the 95%, the rest helps the 95%, which is ultimately what we're doing, getting our body better at doing the fastest thing that the human body can do. So hope that helps. Happy speed training.